Da 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 dun dun da 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 da. Normally the week-to-week WWE shows build to a WWE pay-per-view. However, there was so much trolling bollocks going on at WWE Money in the Bank 2017 that it was clear for all to see that WWE wanted you to think that Money in the Bank 2017 was utter shit, so that you would tune in to SmackDown on Tuesday to see Daniel Bryan sort this mess out. The psyche has been flipped reversed. I'm King Ross. You are a filthy mark or a loyal subject. And here are all the WTF moments from Money in the Bank 2017. A house of a show. To look to the future, you must first look to the past, apparently according to the promo package that aired before WWE Money in the Bank 2017. But this was a past that somehow included notorious shitbag, pimp, vulnerable person abuser, the fabulous Moolah, and all-round baguette. Bad egg, an all-round bad egg, but does not include, and I know she's got her own baggage, but bloody hell, she was in a Royal Rumble, what women just don't do on the reg. She was an Intercontinental Champion, which women don't do on the reg. China, somehow Moolah was acknowledged in that promo package, but China, even though she's passed on now, she was deemed not worthy enough to be recognised, along with some of the greats in the history of women's wrestling. And what kind of a house of a world do we live in if that's the status quo? Is bag one. Baguettes. Next, we move on to Tamina, who was billed from the Pacific Islands. Yes, all of them. Now, I do apologise if this is the norm on WWE's programming, but when Tamina appears, I normally look the other way because she's boring as shit. How can she be from all the Pacific Islands? There's f***ing loads of them, lads, unless, of course, she's a robot and being pieced to piece together bit by bit. For example, a big toe might be from Hawaii, a little finger might be from New Guinea, a cheekbone might be from Taiwan, a cheekbone might be from Taiwan, and it didn't make any sense. The placing of that promo package was bare weird, wasn't it, lads? Yes, it was. No, I'm not talking about the promo package at the start of the night. I'm talking about the promo package at the start of the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It was placed weirdly, wasn't it, lads? Yes, it was. I'll tell you why. Just imagine the scene in the arena. A few of the lasses have made their way down to the ring. They're waiting in the ring. The house lights have been turned down. They are forced to sit there or stand there and watch a little movie playing on the Titantron while they are stood meters away from their enemies. Their enemies who are they supposed to hate? Now then, if me or you had an enemy and we didn't like them because they're our enemy, we would f the shit out of them, wouldn't we? Yes, we would. We wouldn't stand there all nice and orderly going, oh, look at that little video, isn't it nice? It didn't make much sense to me, Kevin Dunn. Why have you ordered it that way round? I don't know. Next, we move on to the Who Was My Dad side on the rampway, which is very timely, of course, because it was Father's Day yesterday. Now, of course, we all have to question why this person was asking who their dad is, because as we all know, if you do not know the identity of your father, then of course, the answer is always Marty Scurll. What makes me say that? Because I see online hundreds of people, mainly women, calling Marty Scurll their daddy. I don't know how Marty has the time to raise all these people that call him daddy. It's no wonder New Japan have put him in the Bullet Club, because undoubtedly that sweet, sweet merge money he's getting as part of the Biz Cliz is paying for the seemingly millions and millions of pounds he owes in child support each and every month. Next, we move on to the finish of that Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and oh, f me, wasn't it a load of shit? This was supposed to be a groundbreaking night for women in WWE. This was supposed to be a night that the second generation superstars in the match stepped out of the shadows of their more famous relatives. This was supposed to be a night that women in WWE proved that all along they could do everything the men could do and do it better. However, the first ever winner of the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match was a man. It was a bloke with a set of balls. Yes, a man, not a woman in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. A man. F any storyline that might be happening. F it right in the Cadbury Alley. Just picture ourselves in 10 years from now when we're looking back at the first women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The image we will see of the moment where the briefcase was captured was a man, not a woman, plucking it down and dropping it to the woman on the floor who wasn't capable of getting it herself. That is not the image WWE should be putting across here, especially in the first ever one, because you can only ever have one first, and WWE have royally this first one, lads. Now then, I'm sure we could all accept Ellsworth, as he did in the match, knocking Becky Lynch off the ladder, allowing Carmella a clear path to victory. However, Carmella not being able to ascend the ladder and Ellsworth having to do it for her just sends across completely the wrong message. Now you can see what WWE were trying to do here, having the heel win with an unfair advantage with their little mascot doing the dirty work for them, but they it right in the face, just like Tom Phillips would do it. They did it incorrect. When we look back forever and a day, the image we will see from the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match is a bloke winning it, and that is wrong. Now I know what you're saying, King Ross, this is a storyline, let it play out. I know it might be, but the storyline. This is the visuals of the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and James Ellsworth, a bloke, won it, and he dropped it to Carmella, who was incapable of scaling the ladder herself. That is just wrong. I don't care what you say. And of course, being the world-class journalist that I am, I got a huge scope last night and can exclusively reveal the lineup for the second ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which will take place at the same pay-per-view, but next year. Here it is. Vito, Hildegard, the Stooges, Santina Marella, and Hervina. I can't wait for that, because they're all blokes in women's match. Dasha Fuentes, and I quote, Naomi is heavily ranked #1. She forgot the word favoured, for f***'s sake. After this, I tell you who was not ranked #1, and that is Dasha Fuentes, because as we all know, the person, the announcer, who was always ranked #1 is Renee Young, because Funaki was shit as well. 2 opening matches, 2 screwy finishes that did nothing but disappoint everybody that was watching. What is this, I hear you ask? An early episode of WCPW Loaded? No, it wasn't that bad. Don't fire me. Where the shit is Bob Orton's cast?
The end is nigh, the end is nigh. F***ing run away, the end is nigh.
Next, we move on to Daniel Bryan's tweet, which you can see here, and which hopefully, despite the fact you're a wrestling fan, you will be able to read. What do you mean we're going to have to wait till Tuesday for something to happen? Bryan, do your job. Call in. You're the general manager. Get on the blower and get that match restarted there and then. Why should we have to wait 2 whole days for bullshit like this to be righted? It's not fair. I tell you, it's not fair. I'm going to unsubscribe and... You're all pathetic. And where the hell was Shane on this night? We get the D-Bry's on paternity leave, so Shane, knowing this, surely had to be there just in case something like this went wrong, and he had to put it right. But no, the pair of them, they were off gallivanting on Father's Day, weren't they? Not my GM, not my commissioner. What about the rest of the dads that work for WWE? They were forced to work, and those two gallivanting at home with a Benz. What's the crack with that? How's that fair? Lead by example. I'd be f***ing off to row if I was a dad on the WWE SmackDown Live roster. It's not f***ing fair. Surely, for the love of Christ himself, Carmella had to cash in her newly won Money in the Bank briefcase last night at Money in the Bank, before Daniel Bryan had the chance to change things on Tuesday on SmackDown Live. Why didn't she do it? Am I a man? What on earth is she waiting for? Well, I'll tell you, because I am great. I think that, you know, how WWE like to do something slightly different with Money in the Bank each and every year. I think we are going to see our first cash in on a house show. So if you live in the area where tonight's SmackDown house show is taking place, presuming there is one, I hope there is one, I've done no research, buy a ticket, because you will see a cash in from Carmella on Naomi for the WWE SmackDown Live Women's Championship, and you can take that one to the bank. Indiana. If you live in Indiana, I've just been told the SmackDown Live crew will be there. Buy a ticket, you'll see something meaningful. Take that to the bank. And if we don't, If we don't see this, I just don't know anymore. I know I should know by now that logic does not exist within WWE, but this just takes the biscuit, not to the bank, just straight up a Cadbury alley. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Why do I care? It's not even real. Maria and Mike Kanellis' debut, WTF, and there we were all thinking that since their debut came after the newest Fashion Files, which was brilliant once again, ha ha ha, the fashion police themselves were getting a new theme about their fluttering love for one another. Is fluttering a word? I don't care. And then we have JBL legitimately making everybody laugh by acting perplexed when he's saying he's took her last name, Michael. Why has this got you so confused, John? Is this a sign of weakness where you're from, you dick? It probably is. So hang on a second, lads. Ric Flair appeared to be all too happy to join the dad's night out for the WWE Championship match, but he couldn't be seen at ringside for his daughter's own match. His daughter's own match where she could have made history and become the first ever Money in the Bank contract winner for the ladies. Where does that make any sense? I'll tell you where. Nowhere! Just imagine poor old Charlotte upon seeing this shot of Rick looking all too happy before Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal match when he has purposefully missed her match. He wasn't in the front row for her match. Just imagine upon seeing this, she undoubtedly sprouted some brown hair, got some Kevin Dunn's teeth, some thick rimmed spectacles just magically appeared on her face and just started singing. Daddy wasn't there. Now, in the words of that local wanker Joe Hendry, let me get this straight. We had a championship match before a #1 contendership match for that championship, and then we had the champion come out first. WWE, two wrongs do not make a right, you set of bastards. And don't you all come at me going, oh, well, the Royal Rumble match always closes the show, because that doesn't make any sense in this context, because the Rumble has implications that cannot be immediate. They are setting goals for WrestleMania, Money in the Bank ladder match. When somebody wins, they could cash in that night, and WWE putting the Money in the Bank ladder match on last takes one of those options away and makes everything a little bit shitter. You agree? You know I'm right. It's John O'Clock, motherfuckers! Here's a quote from John RKO Maggle. It only takes one Maggle. Bullshit, John Maggle. This sentence, of course, came from the rubber lips of JBL, a man who has seen literally hundreds of superstars kick out from an RKO. John himself even probably kicked out from one himself. I've done no research. I don't have to. You're still going to watch this video anyway, aren't you? But that doesn't matter, because John is a bastard who only deals in lies. Aye. It's John O'Clock again, motherfuckers! No, I don't know if this is correct. I don't like basketball. I think it's shit. And few marks told me this, so here we go nonetheless. Apparently, JBL said that Michael Jordan always wanted the ball at the end of Game 7 of the NBA Finals, but he never played in Game 7 in the Finals. Of course, the WTF moment here is, how can you have 7 games in a final? As football shows you, you have 1 game in a final and an extra time and pens if needs be. 7 games is just unnecessarily long, just like most American sports are. You silly bastards with your stupid rules. Play football. Soccer. Next, you move on to Tom Phillips, who, of course, once again faced the shit out of another line on commentary when he said that Jinder Mahal needed to be careful just in case he got DQ'd, because as we all know, if Jinder did get DQ'd, he'd lose the match but keep his WWE Championship, and oh my goodness, wouldn't he be upset if he kept his WWE Championship, Tom? No, he wouldn't. I'll tell you what Jinder would be doing. He'd be celebrating with 1 carb, because that's what Jinder does when he keeps his WWE Championship. Think before you speak, you tart. It's John O'Clock again! JBL this time claiming that Jinder Mahal always, and I underline the word always, had the body and the athleticism of a world champion. Far be it from me to criticise another man's physique, since I look like the Michelin bastard man on a cheat day, but Jinder Mahal definitely hasn't always had the body of a world champion. He used to have the body of the spare third wheel in 3MB before becoming jacked to and having the body of a world champion. JBL here proving that he doesn't have any eyesight whatsoever, and once again proving that he should not be on commentary, a job that relies on him having good eyesight to call action in front of his eyes. His eyes that are non-existent. He doesn't have any eyes. He's blind. At McPartland, get well soon. As we all know by now, Money in the Bank 2017 will be remembered as the night WWE trolled the out of you and laughed while doing so after all the screwy finishes and just before Baron Corbin robbed you marks of the privilege and the sing-along opportunity of Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance. We had this, which I can't remember. Yes, just before Baron did a great dollop of heelishness, we had the Ascension revealed as the perpetrators of that attack on the Fashion Police's office. This is like a bastard episode of Bullseye playing out over and over again, but instead of the prize you could have won being a speedboat, it was a bloody broken Walkman. None of you get that, but I do not care. We were given shit and we could have been given good things. That's... aye. Next, you move on to Connor from the Ascension. You know, that big, that rugged, that, you know, the rat from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's a cosplayer of that thing. He's massive. He's scary. He's wearing more fake tan than model Tyler Breeze and recoloring Tyler Breeze's shirt from blue to orange. That should not be happening. Surely Tyler, being the model, should be wearing more fake tan than Connor, the big, scary rat man. Doesn't that make sense? Yes, of course it does. This makes as much sense as the word abbreviate being so long, you know, because it's abbreviated. And then, of course, you have the people who play pianos. They're called pianists, but somehow the people who race cars, they are not called racists. Baron Corbin could have walked up that ladder using only his tongue to get to rung while Shinsuke Nakamura was sauntering down the ramp at approximately 0.25 miles per hour. What on earth was Big Baron doing, this silly balding bastard? Then, of course, you remember the default list of problems each and every WWE superstar has, one of them being, of course, a complete paralysis of the body when one of their foes' entrance music hits. They can't move, they can't do anything about it, despite the fact nothing is stopping them from moving. Of course, other problems include not being able to stop watching the television at a funny angle and not realizing you can actually leave the ring and attack somebody when they're talking trash about you on the ramp, instead of acting like the ring is a cage that you cannot penetrate. Vince McMahon likes internet darlings. Oh, f off. And we finish with some signs for me. Lovely, lovely. Oh, wait, there it appears the WWE are trying to censor and Chris Benoit this sexual wank pheasant, because it appears as a message to our Facebook page this morning suggests they are taking John O'Clock signs away from Mark. So if you indeed want to take a John O'Clock sign to a WWE show, be discreet. Hide up your shirt, down your trouser leg, do something clever just to make sure that security do not catch you with it, because it appears they are taking them off the marks. I've been King Ross. I have warned you, loyal subjects. Goodbye!
Hello, it's Jack here, lead singer of acclaimed covers band American Rachel. I did not write this script, and I'm here to test your wrestling knowledge today. Are you ready? Guess the theme tune that I'm about to hum. And so on and so on. Did you get it? Oh, cool. Sorry, D. For those of you who didn't get it, it was the Nexus's theme tune. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. For more theme tunes and awesome fun too, buy the new WhatCulture Wrestling Trivia game, available at shop.whatculture.com.